Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and I am so excited to have all of you here this evening. I see people coming into the live both on YouTube and Facebook. So welcome to all our Facebook friends and all of our YouTube friends. It's great to see you all this evening. I hope that that all of you are enjoying the weather. We had 54 degrees here in Wisconsin, which is insanely warm for us, and we were so thankful for that today. In fact, Tom and Alicia went on a little hike together while I caught up on some work. So I didn't get to get out there, but I really should have, because these days are few and far between now. Yes, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, if you'd like to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, that really helps me. Also, if you hit the little notification bell under the video or over the video, I don't even know where it is anymore, but you'll be notified every time I go live or put up a new video. So that would be great. Well, tonight we're going to have a little bit of fun with masking paper. And I was thinking about not doing another holiday video, Christmas card video, because, you know, I mean, so many of you probably have your Christmas cards already done by now, or you already have an idea in mind that you want to do. But this is a great technique that can be used for any time of the year. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to play with it anyway, and hopefully you guys will like it. So I'm going to be starting with using this. This is the Masking Magic. For those of you who don't have this, this is our masking paper, and it's manufactured for me by ThermoWeb, and I really love this. You get 12 sheets of 5x7 masking paper. So really, it's enough to do 24 full card fronts, really, if you're using a smaller 3.5 by 5 style card, which I do a lot. Now tonight I'm going to be using a little bit more masking paper, and I'm going to start with a bigger piece of cardstock than I usually do tonight. So let's flip around to the overhead, and I'm going to see, this is really kind of big. I'm going to back out a little bit. We had the camera kind of close because we were checking the focus earlier, and I forgot to back out beforehand because I was scrolling on Instagram. Yep, that's what I was doing. All right, I want to show you how big this is. So it's kind of big. It's 5 inches by about 6.5 inches. Now you don't have to make yours that big at all. I just decided I was going to make it that big so I didn't have to be quite as careful where I put my masking paper. So I am going to start with my die cutting machine. And let me back up a little bit more here. I've got ink pads everywhere. I've got all kinds of stuff because I'm going to be doing some ink blending tonight. Now, I'm sure you've seen me do a technique similar to this before, but it's always fun to see it done in a different style card. And tonight it's going to be holiday cards. Here is a piece of the Masking Magic. So I picked a piece of cardstock that was big enough that, you know, I could put that whole piece of Masking Magic on there. I really don't need that much, but I'm just being a little bit lazy tonight. So I'm going to put this onto my piece of, onto my plates. And then I'm going to use, these are our two die sets, two rectangle die sets. This is our double stitched rectangle set, and this is our single stitched. And I have these magnetic boards from Stamp and Storage. You can get them over there at stampnstorage.com. It's just just Stamp in Storage. I put both sets together on one storage board. So it's really easy to find them when you want to use them because I use them together a lot. But I am going to go for the bigger one. And I'm going to do that kind of right in the center. And I'll just cut that little strip of Masking Magic off so I can use that again later. Okay, so I'm not too worried about lining it up perfectly. I just kind of want it to be straight, a little straight. And I'm going to cut that out. So welcome, everyone. I see everybody coming in. It's so good to see you guys tonight. All right, and I'm going to keep this because I actually use these for other masking techniques. So for example, you could put this down on your piece of cardstock and you can ink blend all around it. And then when you peel this away, it will leave a white space for you to stamp inside. And if you press really hard, you can actually get that ink to go into the stitches, and you can actually ink a little stitched border too. So I'm going to keep this for later, another time. And I'm going to just, I don't even really have to trim that off. There's not that much to save, but let me move this out of the way first. And then we'll get going here. So I have a piece of scrap paper, and then I'm going to lay this piece of cardstock down. And I am going to trim a little bit of this off. I mean, I know it's not going to save a ton, but if I want to mask off a strip somewhere, or, you know, a couple little small pieces of things, I can do it. So there we go. I'll save this little piece. I can mask stars and hearts off and things like that. Okie dokie. So now I have my piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to put my masking magic. Let me just make sure this cardstock wasn't like a scrap piece of cardstock where it's got stuff on it. I feel like it's got something on it. All right, wiped it off. I don't want to mess up my ink blending. So the masking magic has a little split in it here in the back. So you can take the one side off. And I'm going to put that down first. And again, I'm not super worried about where I'm putting this masking magic, because I'm going to cut this whole thing out using a die when I'm done. And then I'm going to peel the rest of this off. The reason why I did it half and half is because it's easier to handle when you only have half of it to deal with. And it doesn't distort your shape. Sometimes, you know, if you're doing an oval or something and you're trying to work with it and it's sticking in different places, the shape can be distorted. So if you just use half and then the other half, you're good. Now, one thing I want to check before I do this is I want to make sure that this die, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use this one. I want to make sure that that is going to be able to be cut out. Like I didn't go too close to one edge or the other. So this is the die I'm going to use to cut it out. And that's why I didn't worry too much about getting it straight, because I can worry about getting it straight when I actually cut it with the die, if that makes sense. All right. Can my master layout dies, can I use them on masking tape? I don't see why not. If you ever use a die on something sticky and you can't get the stickiness off just by rubbing it or whatever, all you need to do is get a little bit of Goo Gone, or you can use a little Gina K Designs stamp cleaner, clean the die, and then maybe wash it with warm soapy water just to get any oily residue off. All right, I need to get one more little piece of cardstock over here. And I'm going to start with a very light blue. So I'm going to start with Sea Glass ink. Now I'm really far away, aren't I? All right. There we go. That should be better. Is that good? See okay, Tom?
Yeah. Tom's
here. He's over on the side drinking some tea. What is the name of that tea?
Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath.
Some dragon or something.
Is it Dragon's Blood?
No, I don't think so.
It's Dragon's Breath?
I don't know.
What made you buy Dragon's Breath? I bought you Dragon's Breath? I think you have the name wrong. God, I hope you do. Dragon Tooth. All right. I'm starting with everybody saying hi, Tom. I guess you can see that, huh?
Hola.
So I'm starting with the lightest color, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And I am not putting much pressure on at all, because I really don't want any blobs of color. Okay. Now that's not enough. I'm going to still, no, Tom doesn't have his new microphone yet. We got to get him a microphone. I just told him that right before we went live. And he said, we finally got everything working, and now you want to add something else? And I said, yes. Yes, I do. I want people to be able to hear your voice, and I want people to be able to hear your, we call them in our house, like when Tom is making comments about things. It's always very funny. And we call them Tom-servations because he makes these very funny observations all the time. So I think we're missing out on a lot of Tom-servations when I do my lives because he doesn't have a microphone.
Joyce thinks I should be sipping whiskey.
Well, you could do that.
All right.
And all of a sudden, you never see my face again because he can't remember which button to push. Okay, so I took my time and I ink blended some sea glass down there at the bottom. Okay, now my next color is going to be Turquoise Sea. So I'm going a little bit darker. And I'm going to just come in from the side.
Yes, Pat, I packed your order.
Oh, you packed Pat's order?
I did.
Aw, that's so nice, Tom. I'm using the same brush. Tom is acknowledging, Pat, that he did pack your order. That's so nice. We had a lot of fun packing orders. I mean, I don't necessarily want to do that job because it's whenever I'm doing that job, it's because we're shorthanded and we know we're disappointing a lot of people. So there's that stress. But it is really fun to see your orders and to see your names and to say, oh, I know her. She watches our lives. She makes comments on our lives. So thank you all so much for being so supportive. Yes, this is turquoise green, turquoise sea. Down here is sea glass. So I very well could have had a tiny bit of green on here, but it looks pretty turquoise on my end. So hopefully it does on yours as well. And remember, for those of you who are members of our Facebook group, I always go in and post kind of high quality pictures in our Facebook group afterwards. I don't know, you can't post pictures on YouTube. I guess I could post them in our community. There's a community, and I think I can possibly post them on my story, but I'll see if I could start posting them on the community page. Then they'll show up in your feed too. That would be kind of cool. So I'm taking my time and I'm layering. To get really nice ink blending, it's better to just kind of go a little bit at a time and go over several layers than to try to get it all on there at once, because you will undoubtedly get smudges and smears and not very smooth ink blending. All right, so we're going to do the next color. Anybody want to guess what the next color is in my monochromatic life here? Anybody? It is Tranquil Teal. Okay. Now I'm nervous here because if I want to go back to the lighter color, I'm going to have Tranquil Teal on here, but that's okay. I'm going to take my chances. So I'm using the same blending brush over and over again here, but because I'm going really light, it makes it easier. Yeah, I guess I could post them on my blog. I could do that. Okay, so you see how kind of light that went in? Now I'm gonna keep layering that. And Tom is gonna just keep kind of scrolling through the comments, and if he sees any questions.
Honey said, Tom, can you take a break and go pack mine?
Honey said, can you take a break and go pack mine? You should put that comment up on the screen. That's funny.
It doesn't sound much like a break.
That's a Gina K break. That's a Gina K break. We take breaks to do different work. It's like, let's take a break and go build master layouts die sets. There's not a real break in there. Okay, so now I got my Tranquil Teal, and you see I went all the way down, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to add one more color down here. We're having fun tonight. I kind of want to spritz this with water too. Might have to do that. Okay, and then my last color is going to be blue denim. I'm just going dark. Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. Blue denim. Here we go. That really makes it feel like a night sky when you add blue denim around the edges. Okay. All right, what do you think of that blend? I know it's hard to see right now, and I'm telling you right now, when you look at your blending like this, it looks terrible. And do you know why? It's because your eye is drawn around here and you're thinking, oh, look how terrible that looks. You're not looking right in here. But once we pull this masking magic off, that's going to look so super smooth. You'll be surprised. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just put this aside for a minute because I want to do some embossing on here. And even though our dye ink dries really quickly, you see I don't have any on my fingers, it's still very saturated. So yes, I'm going on the dark side up there. So it's still very saturated. So it's still wet kind of on the inside of the cardstock, and it's going to grab embossing powder everywhere. So I'm going to just put it aside, and I'm going to make some other parts of my card. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to cut out this holiday die, and I want to cut 2 of them. So I will get my machine back out here. The machine's going to come on and off the table a bunch of times. It's just like at home. You know, you don't plan. You just kind of die cut something, and then you work on it, and then you bring the machine out again. We're all home together right now. August uncommon tea, Tom. Christine said we should, if we're tea drinkers, we should try August uncommon tea. Okay, so I'm going to take this holiday die and I'm going to put it more toward the side of my die cutting machine. And then I'm going to cut that out. Now, if you have intricate dies, it's easier when you put intricate dies toward the edges of the machine than right in the center. It's also better if you do blade side up than blade side down. Doesn't seem like that would make sense because really what's the difference? It's the same amount of plates and the same amount of pressure. But for some strange reason, it works. Stephanie, I am making a holiday card tonight and I am using masking paper to mask it off. So welcome, and welcome to everybody. It's great to see you all here tonight. Where did my craft pick go? Here it is. I used to have the red craft pick, or as Rena calls it, the stick tool. And recently, oh, did you see that? That just fell out. Recently, I was talking to Tim, and he said that he thought I needed the black one too. And he's right. I definitely did. The red was really cool to have, but it is kind of fun to have the black. I like black and white in my craft room along with teal, turquoise. I have all kinds of turquoise things. I got this little dish. Isn't that fun? And it says, give me glitz. That's so fun. You know, because I like glitz glitter gel. Okay, now I'm going to do one more of those on the other side of this piece of cardstock. I actually have a new paper cutter too that I got, and it is the Tim Holtz Decal paper cutter, and I'm going to absolutely have to use that next week in a video because it's really cool. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the circus tonight. Okay, so now I'm going to poke this one out. What did I do with my craft pick? Here it is. So I'm poking this one out. And I am going to layer these together. There we go. Is that holiday word so pretty? I really like that. Okay. Your craft room is turquoise, Madeline? Is it Madeline? Madeleine? My room is not turquoise, but it's just very neutral. The color is called Universal Khaki. And everything else is white. And then all my accents, like the little baskets and little dishes and little containers to hold things, are all turquoise. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two together using a little Connect glue. What's Beneath Freak?
People are concerned about whether they're a mole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you guys. We're sorry. I know
I think they are.
it's kind of crazy how I know the other night we had a spammer. And I know you guys can like block them so you don't see them anymore. So do that if you see something you don't want to see, block it. You won't see it anymore. But I think Tom is the one that has to incinerate.
Beanie Freak's been on here before.
Oh, probably, yeah. Okay, so I'm just dotting this with Connect glue. And then when you stick these things together, you want to work from one side to the other. Don't try to do it all in one pass. It'll drive you nuts. The Connect glue is pretty forgiving, so you've got a little wiggle room to kind of slide things into place. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but our next door neighbor put his decorations out, and he's got Christmas music playing outside.
No, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay. I hear it. Okay, so that just thickened it up a little bit, and that makes it a little bit easier to handle. All right, so I will put that aside. That's going to be our main part of our greeting. And now I'm going to just use the heat tool on this a little bit. I think Tom kind of knows the difference between spammers and non-spammers. Although if we have ever picked you out, we are so sorry. It was not intentional. It would have just been a wrong button. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my embossing magic pad, and I'm going to get a heavy coating of that on here. There we go. And then I'm going to use a set. Oh my goodness. I have white handprints on my shirt in not the right spot. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. So no, Jennifer, our neighbors aren't mowing the lawn again. But I guarantee you that one of these lives, we're going to have a big snowstorm and they'll be out there using snow blowers. Tom's going to have to go yell again. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp set. This was in the kit and it's now available by itself. It's called Ornamental Snowflakes. And these snowflakes, they're so pretty and so delicate. My daughter Alicia drew these and I just love them. I think they're so pretty. So let's get a little bit of ornamental snowflake action here. I'm going to use this middle size one. And I'm going to put that on the round block. Should I put that on the round block? I think I'm going to put it on the square block. And I'm going to use the Gina K Designs Embossing and Magic Pad. Embossing and Watermark Pad. Magic. Yes, it's a magic pad. All right. And then I have all my white embossing powder here in this Glad container. I have about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 jars in there. Well, not now, but that's what I started with. Okay, I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to stamp it right in the center. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of embossing powder on there. I wonder if I should just use this snowflake for all of them. It's such a pretty one. I might. I'll just turn it in different directions. Okay, so we'll put one here. Now I'm really putting a little extra pressure because I want that ink to get all the way to the edge. I should have done it. Okay, I'll do another one. There we go. I should be showing you this. There we go. I'm not going to worry about up there because that's going to peel away. And I'm just trying to turn these so that they're not all patterned the same way. All right, I'm really giving it some wiggling. Oh yeah, I guess if you have Christmas in Arizona, you're not quite in the mood for snowflakes, huh? But, you know, keep in mind, maybe you send cards to people who do live in those climates and they would relate to them. So it wouldn't be a terrible thing. Put one here. I know sometimes it's hard, like if you don't have the weather, to be in the mood for the weather. Although I got to tell you, December 26th, I am so done with winter. Like winter's fun for the holidays. I'm going to just put a couple little spindles in here. It's fun for the holidays, but I want it to be done right after the holidays. I think I would make a good snowbird because I love the warm weather. Okay, and we'll do 2 here. I think I got a smear. Well, that's where the greeting's going to go. Right there, where the smear is. See that? I pressed too hard. But let me get my my paintbrush. And I will just brush that away. It's a lot easier to brush it away now than it would be after. There we go. And we'll make sure that the vellum I'm going to use goes right over that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow on this. I don't know if you could hear that, but and now I'm going to emboss it. I actually think I'm going to peel first. Should I peel first? I'm going to peel first. It's so scary, but I think it's better to peel first. No, it's okay. You don't have to worry, Tom. It's okay. But I could use your hand over here, but that's bad because, I mean, you know, we do have to be able to make cards without calling other people in, phoning a friend and stuff, right? There we go. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now I can blow all of that away. Okay. I'm already really liking this. Okay, let's emboss. I know winter is really cozy. I think it depends on what kind of person you are. There are times when I feel like a real cozy winter person and I want to just cuddle up by the fire with a good book and a blanket and a cup of coffee or something. But then there's other times where I feel like I want to be out on my bike and try to be a little more athletic. And I would not describe myself as an athlete, though. That would not be, I would not check that box. Okay. Here we go. Here's my panel. Yes. Okay. So now I'm glad I took the masking magic off first. I think that would have stressed me out a little too much to be embossing it. Now I can get my die cutting machine yet again. And yes, we are having a hot winter up here. You are absolutely correct. Today was 54 degrees. It's not going to last forever, though. Okay, so now I am going to use this die. This is part of the Master Layouts 2 die set, and this is a plain die. I mean, I guess I could use the stitched die. That would probably be very pretty. Should I use the stitched one? Okay, you guys decide. Let's see the comments. Do I use the stitched one, the 3.5 by 5, or do I use the one that's 1/8 of an inch bigger and it's plain? Let's see what people want me to use. Let's see. I'm waiting. You vote regular, stitched, stitched. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting more stitched. All right, stitched 1. Stitched is winning. But that's kind of good because I think I'm going to need this one anyway for a background panel. So, but I feel you. I was debating. I wasn't sure. All right, I'm going to use a little washi tape to hold this down because I really want this to be straight. And, you know, the paper's a little warpy, so we want to make sure that we get it to be really straight. I'm going to just stand up here a little taller on my tiptoes. I should wear high shoes when I do this because I did not think about the island situation when I built my craft room. So for those of you that are building your craft room, if you are more on the petite size as far as height goes, consider that counters are kind of high and you're really reaching a lot. Okay, so does that look straight to you guys? I think that looks pretty straight. It's going to be straight enough. Okay, here we go. All right, it's going to take a little pressure. There we go. Okay. Jody has us on 3 TVs, Tom, and her phone. I always get nervous when you guys put me on your big screen TVs because, whew, that's a lot of me up close. Okay, I agree. I do like the stitching. Let's see if we can get a little closer so you guys can see. I do like that little bit of stitching. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's very pretty. You were right. All right, so now I'm going to do another layer, and I know this is crazy talk, but I am actually going to not use black. I'm going to use Tranquil Teal. If I can find it. I'll be right back. I got to find Tranquil Teal. Why didn't I have that ready? Because see, I made a last minute. I did an audible on the field.
I'm going to take a drink.
You're going to take a drink? You're going to drink? Maybe I'll use blue denim. Should I use blue denim? Here, let's see the blue denim. Blue denim might be really pretty. Should I do that? You hear Tom gasp? I know, he just fell over because I'm not using black. I don't know if I have Tranquil Teal. Did I use all my Tranquil Teal? This is Tranquil Teal, but it's just a tiny piece. I like the Tranquil Teal, but I don't know that I have a big enough piece. For crying out loud, why don't I have a big enough piece? Oh, I do. Okay, so now let's look at them one by one here, and we'll make our decision. So blue denim, it really pulls out the blue denim at the top, I think. Definitely makes it look more like a blue card, right? Okay. Now let's look at it with Tranquil Teal. Are you feeling the teal more? All right, I'm looking. Ooh, we got a lot of blue denims. I see more blue denim. Okay, it's your call, guys. And I think the overwhelming response is blue denim. Boy, I sure hope that the people that said no stitching at least won the blue denim. All right, let's get the little cutter out and we'll do, oh no, I'm going to cut this with the die. What am I doing?
Somebody said blue demon.
Blue demon?
So,
Well, it could be at times. All right, I'm just cutting this in half off to the side here. Actually into a quarter. And then we're going to cut it with the die, the coordinating die. I hope this is the right one. I just grabbed one of the dies and I've got my master layouts 1 and 2 stored together, which, you know, it's confusing. All right. So hopefully that's it. Yes, that is it. Okay, you guys, I do like that. That's very delicate and blue demon with dragon breath. You guys make my night. Always. You're always fun.
So we should name our band.
Name our band? Blue Demon with Dragon Breath. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get a little vellum here. I've got a little vellum off to the side. And I'm going to cut a little 2-inch piece of vellum. I think 2 inches. Maybe I'll go 1.5.
Will you ever make master layouts with ovals and circles?
With master layouts with just ovals and circles? Well, maybe. I'd have to see how that would work. See, doesn't that just make the word holiday pop out a little bit and it doesn't take away from anything else? I will consider that. You mean like really big ovals and really big circles that are like card size? Possibly.
Are the guys marked so you know which is which?
They are not. They are not marked. You would have to mark them yourself. But I'll tell you, it is, I mean, it's kind of easy to see because you hold them up to each other like this. And you can definitely see that that one is just about the right size together. And the master layouts 1 are much bigger. They're bigger. You could just see how much bigger that is. And there's no stitching. So the ones that you could get confused are the smaller one in master layouts 1 and the bigger one in master layouts 2. But if you kind of put them down on your tabletop, you'll be able to see which one is smaller. But yeah, they're similar. Once you cut them out though, you'll know right away if they worked. Okay. So I'm going to actually wrap this around this panel first. I'm going to put it down just a little bit. I'm just trying to cover my little goober there. So.
Request to shadow the holiday with blue denim.
Shadow the holiday with blue denim. Well, you know, now that you say that, if you have the seasonal sentiments die set, there is actually a shadow die for the holiday, like a big shadow die. So I could even cut that out with vellum. See how that just shadows around there? So you could cut that out with vellum, or you could cut it out with blue denim. The only thing is that, you know, it's the blue denim's going to show in between. So that's going to be a big splash of blue denim. And I don't know if you would want all of that blue denim, but you can see that die is really cool. I designed these single dies, the holiday, the Christmas, and the Hanukkah, to work with the shadow dies that are in the seasonal sentiments set. So they work nicely together. So I could do that, but I think I'm going to stick with this for now. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do a little tape. So I got notification, guys, that our tape runners and our refills are on their way to our warehouse. So they should be, I mean, gosh, I bet they'll probably be in the next maybe 2 days because they're already shipped. So that took forever to get those.
Suppliers are taking longer.
The suppliers are taking so much longer to get things to the manufacturers. Like, you know, ThermoWeb makes a lot of our stuff, but they need the raw materials to make things, and it's taking forever to get stuff. So thank you for your patience. Okay, so now I'm going to tape this onto this Master Layouts 2 panel. I know this card is taking a little while, but think we're only going to make one card tonight. And I'm just having fun taking my time with it. All righty, there we go. This is just such a fun layout. Now imagine, you don't have to make a holiday card. You can use flowers, you can use leaves and different patterns and do whatever you want here. And then we need a white card base for sure, because we need to see that blue denim pop, right? Isn't that pretty? I like that. Everybody's saying, give Tom a mic.
Yeah, the next show is going to say, take Tom's mic.
Yeah, take Tom's mic, please. Okay, there we go. So this is going right on that white card base. My fold is terrible here. Let me refold this. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if that's any better. But I like that you can put vellum over and hide the goober. There we go. All right. And then holiday is going to go on top. Now we have to pick a greeting here. So I think we're going to do holiday wishes, holiday cheer. Let's do holiday wishes. That'll be a good one. Holiday wishes. Where is wishes? Here it is. It's really, that is merry. It's hard to see, and everything came off of my set because you guys know I don't clean my stamps, right? I think we talked about this already, that I don't clean my stamps. Okay, so holiday wishes. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to stamp this on the tiniest little, and that's still going to be too big, but I'm going to do it anyway. And what I might do to accent it is I might put a little snowflake on either side. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we're going to stamp this and then cut it. So I think I told you guys this before, but I'll tell you again, if you're new to Gina K Designs or you're new to my videos, first of all, welcome. It is so nice to have you here. If you're using a strip sentiment, and maybe not something this small, but when you have these long strip sentiments, if you try to put them on your block, there's a chance that you're going to twist them out of shape. So I always just lay them face down, and then I just pick them up with my acrylic block. And that makes it easier for you to get it on there straight. Somebody's asking you a question. Are you answering? Oh my goodness. I'm just laughing at the comments. Renee asked, Tom, is Gina a perfectionist? And Tom's answer is coming up. Okay. Well, I'm maybe in card making a little bit. I'm going to do one more up here. There we go. I don't know which one I like better. I'll do one more. That one I don't like. All right, I'm sticking with one of the others. Okay. I always stamp a couple just to see if one just looks a little more crisp than another. You're funny, Tom. You're a funny guy. Whoa, I have too many things here. Let me move this back and zoom back out again. See, like 12 times I brought the die cutting machine back. It's one of those things. So I'm going to use the tiniest little flag that we have, and that is from the Master Layouts 3 set. I'm going to try to cut it so it's even on both sides. I know that's really tiny, that word. But I don't think you'd want to go too much smaller with a flag die, because you got to be able to kind of see it. And plus, we're going to decorate it. And I know you might not be able to see it really clear on the live, but I will take those pictures and you'll be able to see the little embellishment too. So I'm going to tape this down with a little washi to make sure it's straight. That looks good. That look good to you guys?
Tracy's new to the channel and she wants to know, why don't you clean your stamps?
Tracy, I'm just being lazy, and because I'm not a perfectionist. I should clean my stamps, and I I do clean them like when they get bad, and I clean them when I use ink that is in color, but I don't clean them very often when I use Versamark or embossing ink. I just stick them back on the thing. And then when they get too bad and they're not stamping well anymore, then I take them all to the sink and I scrub them with an old toothbrush and some Dawn dishwashing detergent. But, you know, just cleaning them with a little stamp cleaner doesn't really seem to get the Versamark off. You really have to take them to the sink. So that's why, you know, when I use embossing ink, I am a little more lazy and I just let it go. Okay, so now we're going to do holiday wishes. Holiday wishes. Figure out where I want that. And I always like, when I'm doing something like this, I always like to drape a little bit of the greeting down over the flag. I don't know. I think aesthetically it looks nice like that. Okay, so let's put the holiday on there first. And I know that seems counterintuitive with what I just said, but like I said, Connect Glue is forgiving, so you can kind of move things around a little bit. So we're going to glue the holiday on there first. So it sounded like we went through a lot of the comments last night, or went Monday night, and I had asked you guys, do you like the quotes? Do you not like the quotes? And, you know, I'm not trying to be like a motivational speaker or anything like that. But I just, that whole idea started back when we were all shut down and we all didn't know what was happening. And I was reading motivational quotes and kind of quotes that gave me hope and stuff. And then I would just come onto the live and share them with you guys. And it sounds like some of you still want me to do that. So I'm going to do that still. And if you don't like them, that's okay. You don't have to like them. I'm good with that. Okay. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to tape the wishes on, and I'm going to just slip it under that D.
Sugar Hill Crafter wants to know, how do you choose the colors?
Sugar Hill Crafter wants to know, how do I choose the colors
You use together.
I use together? Well, you know, a lot of it is trial and error. I have used some colors that really don't look good together, and I know not to use them. But a lot of times when I'm doing ink blending, I will use colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. I generally don't use colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, except for one time. And I'll show you the card because I have it right here. Well, I thought I had it right here. Never mind. Oh, I do. I have it right here, and I don't know why it worked, but it did work. I used like orange and blue together, and you see how it kind of made almost a greenish brown in here? So I like to use colors that are next to each other or just a step or two away from each other on the color wheel. So a pink and a blue, because you know it's going to make purple in between, stuff like that. That's how I like to blend my colors together. Although I think it would be fun to have a challenge where you guys send me the worst possible color combinations that you can think of, and I try to make cards using those color combos. Does anybody want to do that? All right, well, I'm going to use some of these little snowflakes. They're so cute. These are our little snowflake embellishments. They come in a little bag, and then I have these in, I think it's Elizabeth Craft or Elizabeth something. It's a big container. I'll show it to you real quick. It is Elizabeth Ward and Company. And you can see I do not have many of these filled yet, but this is a big tray where you can put all different sequins that you have. So Elizabeth Ward, they're blank. They don't have anything in them. And then you fill them with your embellishments. So that's what I use for that. And now I'm going to use my Marvy Jewel Picker. And I'm going to dot the eye with a snowflake. So I'm actually going to put the little bit of glue right over that eye. And then I'm going to place the snowflake over that, like that. Okay. And then I want to see what these look like. Would this be cute? Would you guys think that would be cute to put 2 little snowflakes there? Let me hold it up a little closer so you guys can see. Think that would be cute? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add 2 more little snowflakes, unless you think it's too much. I could, put some snowflakes in the center of the snowflakes. Like that. I could do that. Or I could add them in empty spaces, which might look a little better. Like that. I kind of like that. See, that's why it's just, I never know what I'm going to do. I just try things. And the nice thing about this is you don't have to put them on with the glue until you make the decision. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a little bit of snowflakes just in between. And then that gives me 5 snowflakes on the card because you guys know I like odd numbers. It's a little thing that I like. I feel like odd numbers are aesthetically pleasing. This one has a little chip. No, I'm not a perfectionist, but that snowflake wasn't doing it for me. None of these are. Yeah, they are. Okay. So there's my finished card. What do you guys think? Is that fun? How can you make your jewel picker sticky again? I've actually had some people say you could put a little glue on the end. There is a special kind of glue that's really good for that, though. It's called Tack It Over and Over, and it stays tacky. So that might be a good glue to add to the tip of your jewel picker. Sometimes it just gets stuff on it and you have to pick it off. But yeah, I mean, they don't last forever, that's for sure. But I've had mine for quite a while. So what do you guys think? Do you like that? It's kind of fun and simple. And I will take a picture of that so you guys can see it. I'll post it definitely on the Facebook group, and I'll post it over here on YouTube in my community. You can post pictures and stuff, so I will do that. All right. Wow, I didn't expect that card to take almost the full hour, but I guess I was kind of chatty tonight. So I was thinking about, what kind of quote could I do tonight, and what could I talk about, and what could I think about? And the only thing I could really think about, and I've been thinking about this a lot, is how this is a really hard time right now, right? We're all kind of going through a hard time, and but there are better days ahead. So we have to kind of be focusing on the better days ahead so we don't get ourselves in a funk or get too depressed. So my quote for tonight is, it's always easier to bear a hardship today if we believe that tomorrow will be better. So it's okay if today wasn't your all-time favorite. Tomorrow is a new one. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will be back again next Monday. I'm going to see if I can get Tom a microphone in between today and Monday. We'll see. But in the meantime, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.